We all have different definitions of it. The one thing they all agree on is it will culminate in a cataclysmic event. And once that event takes place, the world will never be the same again. Be it through nukes, aliens, the walking dead, disease, voodoo, warring deities, returned elder gods, solar flares, man-made climate change, or meteors crashing to the earth. Will humanity survive or be destroyed? Choices will be life and death. Knowing all of this, still nothing can prepare you for the Apocalypse Monthly. Greetings, survivors. This is Dawn of the Apocalypse Monthly, number 4. Returning to face death, my right-hand ham, Benjamin.
How's it going, y'all? Trying to stay alive out here.
And for the first rhyme ever, a guest host, Captain Colin, a.k.a. Uncle J-Raz from the Murder Hobo Show.
Hello.
Hello. And of course, I am Matt, the master of ceremonies, the game master, and all-around nutcase.
I think you dropped the ball on there. You could have called yourself the Matster of ceremony. Yeah,
the
you got it.
Matsterbator.
Or the Master of Ceremonies.
Oh, those are both good.
The Matsterbator of ceremonies. There we go. All three combined.
That's a title. That's an honorific.
That is, yeah.
Esquire, Masturbator of ceremonies, Esquire. Dr. Master. Okay, that's enough.
PhD.
Yeah.
PhD, cum loudly. Well, in this sexy good time episode, we're going to be talking about the greatest zombie movie of all time, Dawn of the Dead. Original, of course.
The 70s one. I think
Where's Romero, baby?
Yeah. And then Ben and Jay are going to try their hand at surviving the apocalypse in Fate of the Dead Session 2.
I'm 1 for 1 so far, so let's keep that streak alive.
Pun intended.
And then we're going to talk about some capitalist propaganda and buying the apocalypse.
Ooh.
But before that, letters from the Bulletin Board. All right.
Fair.
Yeah, thank you. I'll try.
I think you've been working on your old-timey talk, and that's good. That makes me happy.
Yeah.
I've always been pretty good at that. I do a decent radio announcer voice too that I practiced when I used to do announcements at Sears.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. Back in the
you used to do announcements at Sears? Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So my boss loved my fucking announcements so much that I ran into him almost, I don't know, like 6-8 years after I'd quit Sears. And he said they still use my voicemail. Like, they never replaced the voicemail I recorded.
You're a legend.
Yeah. Now, of course, that Sears is shut down, like 99% of them.
Yeah, well, yeah.
But so my voicemail is finally gone. Or maybe they added it to corporate. Maybe it's the corporate voicemail now.
No, now it's just the Sear.
Yeah,
right.
The Sears.
It's just, no, not pluralized. There's just the one. It's just Sear.
Yeah, that's hard to say.
Really, the only other voice that I've mastered is the customer service voice.
Yeah. The I'm really pissed off at you right now, but I'm going to act like you're a child and I'm being nice. Yeah.
Thank you for calling. How can I help you today?
Well, I definitely do apologize that you had to call in today, sir. I'm more than happy to assist you with your
Oh, bless your heart.
Just let me
that's fuck you in polite speech.
Yep.
Yeah. Just let me spit on that dick and really lube it up for you.
Yep. No, man, that's soul crushing, dude. Customer service work soul crushing. Anybody's got to do it, man. My hat's off.
Yeah.
I've done it. I did it I did it for, well, you know, in a sense too, like IT is always going to be, IT is customer service, but it's not like dealing with screaming ass, you know, Joe Booger in public, you know. So.
Oh yeah.
It's funny that you describe it in that way because I do it at a hospital, which sometimes feels like I'm in the middle of the apocalypse.
Yeah. Somebody bleeding and snotting and spitting on you in anger.
Yeah.
Nothing better than that.
Real talk. A guy came in once, said he wasn't there for COVID, and had every single COVID symptom. It was like, my dude, guess what?
Yes.
It's probably COVID. That's what you here for.
Well, you know, it was wishful thinking. Mm-hmm. Wishful thinking.
Yeah, I guess so.
But since we're talking about customer service, we're about to do a service in that we're going to continue to rip off my brother and me.
Hell
I want
yeah.
to go to Yahoo Answers and help them solve questions from mostly over a decade ago, back when zombies were big.
Right. Yeah.
So this question was asked by Anonymous. Brave.
Yeah.
And it says, what the heck is a zombie apocalypse? On Facebook, this girl was like, I have the best zombie apocalypse team ever. Name, me, name. Question mark? And I was like, huh? Heart. So what the heck is a zombie apocalypse? I think this one's a nice softball, you know. We can get a good solid answer out there before we get into the hard hitting ones.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I guess that would be an important question, because how would you know you're in a zombie apocalypse unless we've gone ahead and defined it for you?
Oh yeah.
You know, it could just be a run of the mill apocalypse, but this one's a zombie one.
Yeah.
So I mean, I guess, you know, apocalypse, end of the world. You know, that's right there in the name. And zombies, end of the world that involves zombies, I guess, right there. Bam.
Yeah. So yeah, basically, the dead come back to life one way or another, and they eat you until everyone is mostly dead.
Real quick, do you know which definition though that I kind of have an issue with, or reason is? So when it's like, oh, hell's full, so then why does shooting them in the head work then? Because wouldn't they just come back if hell was full?
Ooh, so you're already arguing with our one of our main characters in the
I know.
movie.
I'm just saying, hell's full. Well, then shooting them in the head is just gonna piss them off.
True. I think that was more of a just I'm trying to be deep, and I'm not that deep, but.
Or I mean, it does sound scary.
It does, and it's on like the poster. I think the big poster.
Yeah. Do you think that would be a good way to find out, though, if people were, you know, as good as they claimed, right? Because if their soul went to heaven, then it wouldn't come back to life, right? Because heaven's not full.
There's your proof. Maybe that's maybe when they shoot him in the head, like
they get
like a second like shot at St. Peter, and St. Peter's like, oh fuck, man, you got mistreated down there. Sure, you can stay.
Yeah. It's like a shitty version of reincarnation.
Yeah. It's like, damn, bro, you had it rough down there. You get to stay. But yeah, Uncle Jay, do you have another definition of the zombie apocalypse for us?
So it's kind of weird to me. Like, anything like, it's funny that there's the I guess the theological aspect of it, but I always see it like from a biological aspect.
Mm-hmm.
It's always going to be somebody. It's always going to be science. Somebody. It's all about coulda with these scientists, and not about shoulda. You know, we're going to do something. In fact, it's always some sort of cure for something that, you know, the cure for cancer. The cure. You know, in fact, and everybody's screaming about the COVID vaccine is going to turn you into whatever. It's going to turn. Is it going to turn you into Bill Gates this week? I'm not 100% sure.
I hope.
Maybe. Me too. I want that money.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah!
Everybody inject themselves with the vaccine, and you get $50,000 put in your account. That's the rumor I heard.
That would be fucking awesome.
That'd make my life
right so much sweeter.
But really, they're putting a microchip in you, and I know that because I read it on Twitter on my phone.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
That's what I like. That's my favorite thing. Like,
Yep. I read it on Twitter. But
I researched it for hours watching all these YouTube videos that agreed with each other.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I like that. You know, there's always it's always nice for it to have like a little bit of a scientific element to it.
Yeah.
I like. So here's where we can get into the nitty gritty of is it a zombie apocalypse? Is it not a zombie apocalypse? So, you know, in the same time period where The Walking Dead was getting big, we also had some things that were not considered zombie apocalypse films, such as what was it?
28 Days Later.
28 Days Later. Yeah. There we go.
Yeah.
I almost said 30 days later. I just added a couple extra days there.
I mean, I guess they did have the movie that was like 28 weeks later, so 30 days would have fallen in between there.
Yeah, that was the near sequel, the half sequel.
Yeah.
Yeah, that tracks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in that film, it was the rage virus, and that was completely man-made. And it was like they were still alive. They weren't undead.
Right.
So people called those what did they call them? Like virus. I don't even remember what they were called. Were they called?
Did they even call them anything?
Yeah, they had a special name for them.
Oh yeah.
They call it like it was some. They called it the rage virus from what I remember.
Yeah.
But I don't know what they called. I don't know if they called them infected. I think is just what they
infected.
Called them.
Yeah, that's it. These were like infected films instead of zombie films.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so I guess, there's that distinction. You got to make sure they're dead or it's not the zombie apocalypse. You're just in a normal run-of-the-mill viral apocalypse like we're currently living in.
Yeah. Well, because, with the infected, too, like, you didn't have to shoot the infected in the head. I mean, they were, like, kind of, like, amped up, so, like, shooting them other places might not necessarily put them down right away. But, like, shooting them enough times in the chest would kill them, whereas the zombies... as we know classically, you have to destroy the brain.
True that. Okay, so next question. I think we beat that one into the ground.
Yeah,
and we won as well.
Mm-hmm.
So we've defined the zombie apocalypse. What is? And you guys might not have an answer to this. I'm not sure what you've read. Are there any good zombie apocalypse novels? What's a good book to read if you really want to read about the dead?
Oh, hell yeah, World War Z.
World War Z.
Yeah, that book was so good. Like, the movie does not do it justice.
The movie didn't even do it.
No, true.
I don't know what World War Z the movie was, but it wasn't World War Z the book.
No, it was certainly not.
Man, I remember watching that really, really stoned and just being like, man, I got baked for this.
Yeah.
No.
Although that might have helped you watch it, really.
Usually that's the case too. Usually, I think if I were to watch it in a less high state or something, I probably would have, rubbed the damn disc on my balls and like thrown it out the window or throw my Xbox or something out the window or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever streaming device I was watching it on, that
right. I think had they just called it like zombie movie as opposed to World War Z, it would have been all right. But since like they called it World War Z and it was just nothing like it, it wasn't.
Yeah, no, sorry, World War Z the movie, but the book's better.
Yeah.
Sorry, almost every other movie ever made based off of a book, but the book's better.
Yeah. I'll admit though, when I heard that they were turning that book into a movie, I just had a feeling it wasn't going to be what we were hitting because like the book is basically like an anthology work where it's like letters and journal entries and stuff from like all around the world. And I just had a feeling when I heard that Brad Pitt was like the main actor, it's like, well, they're definitely not going to do an anthology movie and get Brad Pitt to be the main actor. It's just not going to happen that way.
Yeah. And it's also just as a bit of a hot take here.
Mm-hmm.
None of the Dracula movies, no matter how classic they are, have any remote semblance of how good the book is.
Oh, yeah.
Because the book is, again, it's told in these like letters and journal entries, and you can't really like I don't know. It just doesn't. You can't do that in TV very well or movies.
Right.
Fear
Although,
'em.
I mean, anthology movies can be good. So I guess you just need the right director or a group of directors, depending on what way you go.
Yeah. World War Z could have been done in an anthology form. It
Yeah.
wouldn't have had like the interview style to it, but
Mhm.
it would have been something at least.
Yeah.
For me, I'm going to actually recommend a book series called
Oh.
X Heroes by
Mhm.
Peter Clines.
Okay.
It's basically superheroes and the zombie apocalypse. It's pretty cool.
That does sound cool.
Yeah.
Which is it like superheroes, like established ones, or is it like is it DC or Marvel or whatever, or is it like...
No, it's all made up for the
Cool.
for the novels.
Oh, cool.
And yeah, there's a lot of cool, and it's one of the best books I've read that handles the answering why the zombie apocalypse.
Mhm.
Because that's usually like a lot of stuff when it like, okay, we're going to go into the why of the zombie apocalypse. A lot of those ends up like really dropping the ball.
Yeah. I think my favorite one is always the meteor from outer space, though.
Yeah,
It's like, sure, why not?
that's the original, man.
Yep.
Well, not really. It was radiation from a returning satellite.
Right.
But similar.
Yeah, basically the same thing.
All right. So we answered the novels. Now, what is the best zombie apocalypse car?
Man. I mean,
Mad
really...
Max. Or you said zombie apocalypse? Yeah, see, that's very
Hey, Mad
specific.
Max's car will still work. That thing was
Yeah,
a beast.
for real.
That's what I would grab anyway.
Yeah.
I don't know. So, what
I mean,
car?
you would definitely want something. I guess, a lot of it depends on where you live, too, though, right? Like,
I guess you'd kind of want like an antique car that doesn't have a lot of electronics, right? Because
yeah,
you could possibly like machine new parts for a car, with like limited tool usage, but there's no way you're going to machine a new circuit board,
right, without like having that knowledge by already. Yeah.
Well, even if you had that knowledge, like you're gonna like get a facility that can actually like build that kind of stuff. Like,
yeah, probably not.
I don't know.
The only thing is too that like eventually you will run out of gas. Like, it's just gonna happen too.
Well, I mean, if you're building your car from, if you, I don't know, maybe do one of those like cars that they made at some college or university where it runs on like corn syrup.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there you go.
All right.
Or bicycle.
We answered that question perfect.
Yes.
Did you have a
no flaws found.
Mad Max car? I think wins.
Yeah. That are like the traditional like truck with the cow catcher and spikes and barbed wire wrapped all around it, right?
Yeah. All right. And last question asked by Period. It's how do I prepare for the zombie apocalypse? I'm freaking out.
Like,
I know for a fact there will be a zombie apocalypse. Should I pretend to be one of them, or what precautions should I take? I had my suspicions for a while, but now it's all coming true. Help, save yourself. Oh, wow.
Well, there's a whole show dedicated to that, and I'm pretty sure it deals with building bunkers in your backyard.
Doomsday preppers.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think a bunker would be a bad idea for zombies.
I mean, I guess it depends on how secure you make your door, right? And
Well, yeah, but how are you ever going to get out of your door? Are you just going to live down there forever?
Yeah, be a mole person.
Yeah. So, like...
Yeah, you got to have your cameras, you'd have to have a really, really nice setup or like some sort of a surveillance setup, and that's going to eat up a lot of generator power or whatever. Yeah.
That's true, yeah.
So if you go with the Zombie Survival Guide,
It's basically you just chop out your steps because zombies can't climb very well. So as long as they don't have stairs to shamble up.
I don't know. In that movie we watched, they climbed a rope ladder or a hanging ladder.
Yeah, I know, right? We're getting mixed messages.
Yeah.
So, but of course, as we're going to learn here in our not this month's episode, but in next month's episode in April, we'll be learning about how the zombies maybe are a little bit smarter than we thought.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the thing. If they're Romero zombies, really, you can't do anything to prepare for that, man. Because eventually they'll be just like using your weapons and shit against you.
Right. Although if they're Shaun of the Dead zombies, blending in seemed to work. Because there's a pretty good scene in Shaun of the Dead where they do that.
Yeah. So, yeah, maybe we'll just put them in work. Oh, so good news, guys.
Mm-hmm.
We just got a gift from Zoom for they've removed the 40-minute time limit on our meeting. How about that?
How kind and generous of them.
I know. Well, thank you, Zoom. You just got free advertising.
How long did they give us, though? I wonder.
I don't know. It just said they removed it. So I guess we have infinite time. As long as we never end this meeting.
Watch it be 45 minutes. Like, you bastards.
It ends like, just I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, we relieved the 40-minute limit to 41 minutes.
Yeah, I don't even think it has like a timer letting you know how long we've been in here. So.
Oh yeah.
How am I supposed to know how long the call's been?
Yeah, come on, Zoom.
Suck my. I mean, thanks Zoom please sponsor us. We'll do ads. We will do ads. I'm just kidding. I'm not a whore.
I don't know if that money's right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I would have to take the money just for my wife at the very least, because she would murder me if she found out I was denying. If I was denying ad revenue.
Yeah.
Man, you need to get them diapers, dude.
Them diapers.
Mm-hmm.
He's 6. He doesn't need diapers no more.
I didn't mean for the kid.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's about what? Tomorrow probably. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how long it takes for me to shit myself again. So far it's been since Atlanta, Georgia, mere moments after having Mexican.
Oh my. Was it too spicy?
I don't know what it was, but I thought it was a fart, and it weren't. It was a shark.
A tragic story that we've all heard.
Yes. Yeah. A tragic
all
story.
Experienced.
Yes.
Yeah, but were you at Dragon Con and had to like walk around the convention without underwear for the rest of the day?
Ooh, freeballing it. Nope.
Yeah.
Right next to like George Takei too, man.
I know. George, he smelled it. I saw him sniffing the air. He said, "Somebody shot."
Oh my!
Oh my! I smell a shot. All right. Well, since we've answered pretty much every zombie question possible, let's just head on over to Buying the Apocalypse.
Yes, please.
So this one's going to be a little short because we're just going to be talking about all that sweet gear that came out right when The Walking Dead was like getting 20 million views a week.
Yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
I don't know how many actually were watching. 20 million is probably a low number, actually.
Yeah, I have no guesses.
100 million a week.
What I do know though is that everything came in that same like green color because that's how you knew it was for zombies.
Yeah. If it weren't lime green, it weren't for the apocalypse.
I remember like there being like knives and like little tomahawks and shit, and then they'd have some kind of like green handle or green, company name down the side of it.
Uh-huh.
They were always called like Zombie Slayer or whatever. It's just like, yeah, this is wild.
Oh man, somebody's still making it.
Are you serious?
Oh, that's so cool. So there was a demolition tool that Craftsman actually put out around that time that was like it was zombie apocalypse themed.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah. And I didn't get it. I was so upset. And now of course, can you even get Craftsman anymore? I don't know.
That is a good question. I don't know either.
Yeah, if you can't get Craftsman anymore, that's sad.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they sold I'm pretty sure it was sold, but I don't know to whom. It's not as good as it used to be, obviously. It's like all made in, I don't know. I can't say anything, but yeah, they had this awesome zombie apocalypse hammer and it cracked me up and I really wanted it, but
oh nice.
I didn't get it because it was really expensive and I had no use for it and I worked retail.
Yeah. I remember seeing those little like it's like a multi-tool, but it's like a shovel and it's an axe and it's whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I remember seeing those that were zombie themed too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's that old army entrenching tool or an E-tool.
Yeah.
That thing is badass, man.
No, it totally is, but it's just funny to see that with green logo, green shit all over it and be like, it's for zombies.
Oh, yeah. Get this The Walking Dead approved entrenching tool for your survival.
Zombie Slayer 2000 entrenching tool. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, man, there it is. So, it was, do you guys remember when they did the when Hyundai put out that shitty car that they then had like a website where you could design it into a zombie survival vehicle?
Oh yeah, I do remember that.
And then like you designed this like killer vehicle and then all you got was just like the normal car.
Yeah.
Oh geez, the Hyundai Tucson Shane edition.
Oh my god, I love it.
Yeah.
There was a couple of car ones, weren't there?
They had a different car every season for the first couple seasons but then eventually it's just like, how do they keep getting new?
Yeah, where's their supply of gas? The U.S. Army might want to know. Ooh.
Yeah. But yeah. Well, they still fucking have gas, but that's just because otherwise they'd be riding horses everywhere or bikes. I mean, even bikes, you'd have to get like non-inflated tires because the dry rot from the rubber's gonna make them leak after just a couple years, or they're just gonna wear down. And then what are you gonna do?
They'll make wooden wheels.
Yeah, but yeah, that's just me petitioning for companies to put out some more zombie-themed survival gear, because we're mere days away from the COVID vaccine being activated.
Yeah.
And then once it's activated, of course, that's when the zombie apocalypse starts. We all know this is going to happen because we just read it last month and that question.
Yeah.
Well, gentlemen, I've had I hate to say this, but I've had the vaccine for a month now.
Me too.
And I only have 4 eyes.
Oh.
4 eyes.
So it's a little disappointing.
Me too.
Right?
Yeah. Uh-oh.
I mean, that's the one. I mean, that, aside from other things, that's the one part because I also work for a hospital too. I do, I work IT for a hospital.
Oh,
so they were like, man, we're getting everybody vaccinated. I was like, hell yeah, sign me up. Like, give me that. I want 4.
Yeah.
I'll take
yeah.
I'll take the Pfizer. I'll take the Moderna. I'll take this Johnson & Johnson.
Johnson one.
I'll take little Ray, who's got that down the street. Whatever. It might not be a vaccine. It might be heroin. I don't know. But
Hey, whatever.
And whatever it takes. Because I'd like to go to a convention again and see Matthew and punch him.
Yeah.
I'd like to go to a convention too, just to be seen.
Right.
Whip that masturbator of ceremonies right out there.
Ooh.
I
I kind of want to go to a concert again.
I'm on the waiting list.
Oh, good.
Yeah, my county has a registration, and and Liz and I both were registered, but we'll see when it happens.
I had 2 chances to get it. One because I work at the hospital, and the other because I am actually a student in respiratory therapy. So, but the one for employment came quicker, so that's the one I went with.
Captain Show Off.
Well, yeah.
That's all right. Well, so you heard it here. So far, neither of them are dead.
Yeah.
Or are they?
Womp,
womp.
Hell was full.
Hell's bells. Well, I suppose it's time to talk about Dawn of the Dead. So we're going to head
into the apocalypse.
Yes.
So boys.
Mm-hmm.
Is Dawn of the Dead or is Dawn of the Dead the greatest zombie movie ever made?
If it's not, it needs to slap the one that is.
Yeah. It does slap anyone that would try to compete with it. It slaps them hard.
Yes.
So, that's just like in last week's or last month's episode when we watched Night of the Living Dead.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like people are just so they can't just get past copying Romero.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many tropes that every zombie movie just copies from Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah.
And Dawn of the Dead did it first, and Dawn of the Dead did it better.
Yeah. That's not to say it's not without its flaws, but
yeah. Well, first, you got the budget. All the zombies just have gray makeup on their faces.
Mm-hmm,
yeah, Romero always, he always did the best with what he could, though. But, just imagine what Romero could do if somebody from a studio actually threw him some money.
Oh, God, right?
Yeah.
I did have one minor issue with some of the storytelling, too, because sometimes some of the scenes just jumped to something else, and that was just, a little jarring sometimes, I felt, too.
Yeah, there's a lot of cuts from one area to another.
Yeah, with zero transition. It was just oh, I guess we're talking about this now.
Well, I think part of that was we were watching the extended cut.
That's true. That's fair.
So if we talk about anything that's not in the version of Dawn of the Dead you watched, there is an extended cut on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
I'll try to remember to add it to the show notes. And it's actually so this is the sad thing. Are you ready? So I have a special Divi Max edition, Divi Max series edition of Dawn of the Dead.
Uh-huh.
And the video quality streaming on YouTube was much better than my DVD of Dawn of the Dead.
It's sad, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's actually a couple of different, it's the same movie, but, a couple of different pages had it up, so.
Is it one of those things where since it's from 1978, does it not have, copyright anymore?
I really don't know, because I was actually wondering that, too.
Yeah, because...
That probably still does, but people are doing something to skirt around it.
Oh, maybe so, yeah.
I'm not sure, because one of the things was there was ads in this video we watched, and it was a legitimate video. Or it seemed legitimate. I don't know.
Yeah.
It had ads and everything, and I was like, man, I thought we was skirting the law here, but I
Yeah.
don't know what's going on.
No, yeah, it seemed like a legit, like, we have given permission to to do this movie on here.
Seemed like it, but I mean, maybe
Who
not.
knows?
Definitely at the beginning, it had like a shitty. I don't even know.
There was like a sound, right?
Yeah.
You're talking about like it was like playing over, kind of, but that went away pretty quick.
Yeah.
If that's what you're talking about.
Mute. I was loading the video up and I had to mute it real quick because it goes Kino Domain.
Oh, yeah.
Kino Domain After Hours. Okay, so this is. Oh, okay, here we go. So Kino Domain After Hours says, I believe this is a fan edit taking all 3 cuts of the movie and forming it into one extended cut. So that's why it's kind of messed up. Is because it's a fan edit.
Oh, I did not realize that.
So, I mean, obviously they're using everything they used is in a version of the film. So
Yeah.
But yeah, they added extra time by cutting a bunch of them together, and so Dawn of the Dead. It's just classic. It probably starts in one of the most like frightening ways, especially for what we're currently facing here with it would have been a little bit more relevant last year, but with COVID-19 and just the fact that like people are yelling at scientists basically that's like your opinion, man, and you're like people wouldn't like, this is a new modern thing. Nobody would have said that 40, 50 years ago. And then you look at Dawn of the Dead, and that's exactly what they're doing. The scientists are saying you got to fucking chop their heads off, destroy their head somehow. And they're like, that's, I can't even remember what the show host was saying, but he was basically saying that was like people giving up their humanity to do that, you know?
Yeah.
And
basically it was like, they're not your loved ones anymore. You got to kill them. Yeah,
and I mean it's the same. It's the same thing with like what the pundits were doing with COVID-19. Scientists are all saying you got to stay inside. You got to not go out, and they're like, and then the pundits are like, are you expecting people to give up all their freedom? And it's like, it's I don't know. Romero has a really good grasp of society and society's shortcomings.
Yes. Agreed.
And it's just amazing how well it ties into our current day and age still.
Yeah, you are right too, because I can remember thinking like, oh, people wouldn't act like that, and it's like, oh shit, people do and did exactly that.
Yep, it's sad. So yeah, I think that scene is one of the most iconic. Then of course, later in the film, they have another scientist with an eye patch. Now Richard France plays this scientist, and the cool thing is he was Dr. Watts and the Crazies from 5 years earlier.
Oh wow!
Actually, shoot, he's been in a lot of Romero's films. Romero really liked him because he was also in There's Always Vanilla. I haven't seen that one yet. I need to see it, but the Crazies, he was the scientist in that, and he always plays like an asshole really well. And of course he later in the film, he's basically suggesting all these like really like radical things, and again he's getting yelled at and saying like nobody will do that. That's stupid. We'll just let it play out.
Yeah, all right.
But yeah, what was for you, Ben? What like really made the film shine?
Let's see. I think just the overall story really is just interesting, like in seeing how people that you wouldn't think would really get along all that well at first kind of do start to get along and like actually kind of care about each other a little, like to an extent at least, like that's what I kind of really like really just the main story of it. And also it's also just kind of fun to watch people like loot a mall, like in a movie thing, like because I think as a kid we all kind of had that dream of like being in the department store by yourself at night or something, like. So
yeah, I was gonna say that it has a little bit of a war movie vibe, because there's always that same dynamic in a war movie where like there's a bunch of characters that don't really get along well, and then they go through like a really important mission together, and then they're all buddies and connected by that,
right?
Yeah, and I think that is an aspect of why I like apocalypse movies, because it's like got that like trauma induced camaraderie, there we go, to it that I find very interesting in film. Uncle Jay, what's your favorite thing about this film?
You know what, if you I think this was really the first one too where Romero starts talking about how where this was pretty much like a reflection on society, like everybody, even the zombies, they all gravitate towards the mall and everything like that too. So this is really his first like stab at like a political, at a political statement here, saying that, we're all zombies anyway, we're all just driven to, go to the mall, and we're driven to, watch TV and everything like that too. What's really changed?
Yeah.
That's I love at the end of the movie where the zombies are all basically doing what the main characters were doing in the middle of the movie.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It's basically like nothing changed from when the main characters got killed and left to when they were there. I love that element of the storytelling, of course, and it's something that you can't ignore, because he does. It's actually funny because I feel like Romero was almost born a curmudgeon. He's like these dang kids in their malls. Right. In the 70s, he was saying that, and then because then towards the end of his life, when he's making like what was it called? Was it called Journal of the? No, not Journal of the Dead. What was it called? Anyway, it was the second to last of the Dead film. And it was all about social media and YouTube and stuff. Yeah. It's basically like how people don't connect with each other anymore in person. Everything's about recording video and stuff.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. And so
Survival of the Dead looks like it was his last one in 2009.
Yep, Survival of the Dead, yeah. No. It was the second to last one.
Diary of the Dead?
Diary, that's it. Yep, Diary of the Dead. I was close, I said Journal.
Yeah.
But yeah, and so yeah, he was just a bit of a curmudgeon, but I don't know. I feel like curmudgeons end up having some of the best commentaries, even though they might not be the most enjoyable people to be around, probably.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like, oh, that was a very interesting commentary, and then they're like, no, it's not commentary, it's real.
Yeah, right.
I really like the fact that he tends to make up for how helpless the woman in Night of the Living Dead was.
Yeah.
With how like Francine's basically the only strong person in the whole movie, for the most part.
Yeah.
I
don't know. I mean, Pete or Paul, I forget which one it was.
Peter.
Peter.
Yeah,
I mean, he was a pretty strong individual too.
Yeah, but I mean, in the end, though, he almost killed himself.
That's true.
Which was super fucked up to me. So let's get into that. Like,
and confusing.
Drama.
Like, why?
Yeah. So this guy just decides, oh no, I'm gonna blow my brains out. You go without me. She is pregnant. Like,
yeah.
You're not gonna make sure that she gets to safety. Like, what if she starts having the baby while she's out by herself?
not his baby.
Not his problem. Not my baby. Not my problem.
That being said,
that
as soon as good old Flyboy taught her how to fly that helicopter, I knew his fate was sealed.
Oh, I mean, I knew his fate was sealed the moment he was like, "I'm gonna be a cowboy like the police officers."
That's true too.
And I'm like, dude, you think you're a lot better than you is, don't you?
Yeah. That was one thing, again, to kind of critique it a little bit, because even good movies have their bad points.
Mm-hmm.
It was a little confusing at the beginning to me about like what was going on with the cops and stuff.
Yeah.
It was like, what is happening? And it was like, oh, this is like they're holding on to the like, okay, it came to me, but it was just like, what the shit is going on?
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, that was basically to both introduce the two police officer characters, but also to show one of the big things that they kept announcing, which was that it had been passed that it was illegal to stay in your home,
right,
in private housing, or whatever the term was. I can't remember what they said.
Yeah.
And so in that instance, you've got the that you can't just, they were breaking the law by staying home, basically.
Right.
And of course, you had the guy that just wanted to kill. He said a lot of racist terms, and then he got his, thankfully.
Mm-hmm.
Peter gave it to him.
Mm-hmm. As he deserved.
As he did deserve. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to like do a full like blown like point by point in the movie.
No, of course, because it was 2 fucking hours long.
Yeah, and also it's just it's just so good you need to watch it yourself.
Agreed.
And if you didn't already watch it, then what are you fucking doing?
Right. And I definitely don't want it to come off as if I didn't like it. I just always think it's like everyone knows why it's good, so it's important to also talk about why it's maybe not so good.
Yeah. And I mean, obviously the sound design is dated. You got the same issues you had with Night of the Living Dead, except, about a decade better and a little bit higher budget.
Well, you know what, too? There was a couple times where, like, after I thought about it for a while, I get that it was supposed to be like it was the mall music, but sometimes the music was so goofy and there was nothing to indicate that it was not just like mixed for the movie and not like overhead playing mall music. And and that might be just like, difficulties of or lack of technology or sound mixing technology. But sometimes it was super jarring because it was like something really serious is going on or happening, and they're playing this like happy-go-lucky like music, and it was just like, what the shit? Who decided this song was the one to play right now?
Yeah, you couldn't ever really tell the difference between the mall intercom and the music soundtrack. But of course, I think obviously the mall intercom music was purposefully put over those scenes, juxtapose, so to speak.
Yeah. Well, and you know, again, like once you realize it's the mall music, and it's like, oh, okay. But there were a couple times where, like, even like, you know, after a while, it's like, I don't know if that was mall music or or sound mixed.
Yeah. All right. Uncle Jay.
Yes, sir.
Do you have any standout quotes or moments from Dawn of the Dead that just stick with you forever and ever?
The big thing that always stuck with me too is about Dawn of the Dead, about the zombies weren't really ever a threat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true.
So they were very, 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 very far away. It's just the dumbass humans, man. Everybody fighting, and that's what always got to me too. And that's really one of the first movies where you start to see the dynamic, you know, that dynamic where it's not, you know, where the humans are more the problem than the zombies are.
Right.
And I tell you what, like as far as that goes, Dawn of the Dead really just set the tone. In fact, it is like the template for the ultimate zombie movie.
Oh yeah.
Everything that you need is right there, or everything that you want is right there, even too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You got of course. See, this is one thing that I loved about it. Another aspect of what I love about it is Romero did the infected person that nobody knows what happens when you're infected.
Yeah.
And that goes shit. You know, a overdone trope.
Mm-hmm.
He did that in the first one. And does he do it in the second one? No. He has a friend sit there and have to wait for him to die to then put him back down.
Yeah.
Which is now also an overdone trope.
True.
But it's just like, you know, that's fucking genius. He was like, I'm going to do almost the same thing I did in the last film, but I'm going to make it even more emotionally impactful, you know?
Yeah. I also really just liked how, like, even just like subtle comments about how, like, the destructive nature of, like, greed in general. Because when the marauders are attacking, right, like Flyboy is even like, he gets pissed, disobeys the clearly highly trained police officer.
Yeah.
And he makes a comment like, "This is ours. Like that's ours. This is ours." And it's like, and that as we see, like everything goes downhill from when he starts attacking them.
Exactly. If he just listened, they would have actually still had the mall. They would have been able to stay.
Yeah.
Because him dying was why their little home was found.
Yeah, because he led him right to him.
Yep. Yeah. So I just want to list one little quote here. That's the last line of the movie, and I don't know. I just thought it was such a great. It was more the delivery. It was more Ken's delivery on it that was so great. But he goes at the end when they're in the helicopter and they're flying away. He goes, "How much fuel do we have?" And she goes, "Not much." And he goes, "All right." And it was
yeah.
I don't know. I just love the way he said it. It was so like, well, this is our life now.
Right.
They went from, you know, having everything they could want to like, they're like, well, I guess we're gonna have to face death in the next 10 minutes again.
Yeah. Can I just say though, I kind of want that helicopter to study it because apparently it was low on fuel for a long time and they kept flying at places.
Yeah.
Like, because they mentioned that we'd have to fill it up so many times to get to Canada, and it's like,
well,
so
to get to Canada.
I know, but they're still like, you know, we gotta preserve our fuel. And then it's like, oh, but let me fly it over here.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Let me give her helicopter lessons.
Well, I feel like she only got one.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, she's just a fast learner, I guess.
Yeah. Or we can only hope for them later down the road, right?
Yeah. Who knows? They might have crashed right when the camera's turned off.
Yeah.
Alrighty, we're gonna change pace here. We're gonna go over to
Fate of the Dead.
So, I've given Uncle Jay his character sheet already.
Ooh, fun.
And he'll get a moment to introduce himself here a little bit into the session.
Mhm.
The first thing, though, is guess what, Benjamin?
What's that?
You have earned an improvement.
Ooh.
Yeah, so you get to gain +1 to an attribute.
Oh my. Well, you know what? I think I have to bump my intelligence at least to a 0.
Get that to a 0 instead of a
Yeah.
-1. Sounds good
Yeah.
to me, man. So there's
The story for my intelligence going up too, I think, is going to be, well, obviously the harsh trials of the first round, maybe
Uh-huh.
kind of knocking some sense and maturity into my character.
I like it. I like it a lot. And also, make sure you do the check mark on the improvements section of your character sheet.
Oh
To
yeah.
show that you have the first improvement.
Yes.
And then I guess we will get into the session, the meat and potatoes.
Mhm.
So without further ado, session 2. So it is the third day that you've been out of the facility that you broke out of,
Okay.
Zach, and you've been following along the main road there leading out of the facility, trying to stay close to it, trying to find some sort of civilization.
Mhm.
And you know, the first 2 days there was absolutely no signs of civilization other than some abandoned vehicles here and there, but there was not even signs of the living or the dead, so to speak.
Mhm.
Which, from your experience watching apocalypse movies,
Mhm.
that's real weird that there isn't even like the dead around. And so to facilitate your staying alive during this, we do have I've created a sort of a foraging roll that you can
Oh, okay.
make.
Cool. Okay.
So luckily you raised your intelligence because it is intelligence based.
Good.
Um,
Maybe some of that came from also maybe eating stuff I wasn't supposed to.
yeah. So if you would roll intelligence, which will be at a 0, and your GM die will be at a +2.
Mhm.
And then you do have 2 flux tokens if you want to, if you decide you want to spend some flux.
I think for this first one, we'll just get on with it with the regular.
Sounds good.
See if my dice will be kinder to me. A 4 and a 2. The 2 was the extra dice, and the 4 was the
The
regular.
GM die was the 2.
Yes.
Okay, so they were both 4s, so that is a full success. You find plenty of food and clean water for your first day. You don't have to dip into your supplies that you got in the facility. And then go ahead and make me another roll for the second day.
Oof, that one's a little rougher. It's a 1 and a 2.
Ooh, at least it wasn't snake eyes.
That's true.
The
so 2 was the GM die. Again.
So you can take a full failure, or you can use your one of your flux tokens, whichever you prefer.
I will do the flux token.
Okay. So with the flux token, you can take a full failure to a partial success.
Yep, that is what I wish to do.
All right. Sounds good.
Mhm.
So on a partial success, you find enough water, but it does take more time to boil it and get it and filter it and get it clean. But you don't really find enough food, so you are going to have to dip into your food supply.
Okay.
So go ahead and get rid of 5 of your little granola bars there.
Puts me at 15. You know what? I should have picked up a life straw.
Yeah, I didn't give you one, so you didn't.
No, I know. I should have stopped at Walmart and gotten one for my doomsday prepping.
And now, for your last day of foraging, this is going to be your current day. The GM die will only be at a +1.
Okay.
For this day.
This time it was 2 2s.
2 2s, man. You
I gotta
rolled bad.
I know. I gotta get a different. I'm putting this dice is getting retired tonight. We're going to a different one.
So that's a full failure again.
Yeah. Oh. Man, You know what though? I do have 3 bottles of water, and I still have 15 of those meal bars. So I'll take the failure this time.
All right. So you'll need to eat about well, at this point we'll say towards the beginning of the day, take while you're foraging and stuff, you're having to eat 5 more of your bars. And if you don't find any more food for the day, then you'll have to eat more to stay fully nourished. So now, since you did stay fully nourished through this whole 3 days.
Oh wait, hold on. How much water did I drink? Any of the water too?
You would have drank
at least 1 bottle, right?
At least 1 of your bottles, yeah.
Yeah, we'll do that. 2 bottles left.
And then go ahead and roll me endurance at a -1 on your GM die.
Okay, but my regular die is a +1, right?
If it's your endurance should be +1.
Endurance is, yeah. All right. Oh, guess what, baby? Regular die 5, GM die, or no, I'm sorry, GM die 5, regular die a 6. Ooh,
that's a full success.
We needed that.
All right, so you recover 1 of your wounds, so you're now down to just 1 wound.
Ooh, awesome.
If you want to spend a little more of your bandages, you can recover both wounds.
Oh, you know what? I think at this point, yes. So I'll be down to 1 bandage, but I will have full health.
Oh yeah. All right. So you have spent the morning foraging and searching for any signs of life, and really you've had trouble. You've not found the signs you were hoping to find, and it's been a little disheartening, to say the least.
I can't remember. Did we say about what season it was?
It would be like late summer at this point. And so you're assuming that you're going through another completely just fruitless day when a man comes running out of the woods. Uncle Jay, why don't you describe what this man looks like?
Well, this fella, he looks you know what I would say, if he's not so much homeless as he is looking, as he is sort of like, very simple looking. He's probably wearing a flannel shirt, like an old beat up flannel shirt. He's probably got on an old pair, he's probably got a long sleeve shirt on. It's probably all like a little bit tattered, but it is flannel though. And the most remarkable thing about this guy are his glasses. He's got some thick old bottle bottom glasses, man. This guy cannot see. He is thick, and kind of has a bit of a kind of a bit of a taciturn look on his face and looks kind of serious, but he always keeps on adjusting his glasses and he keeps on looking around and he's like, say, fellas, or just the one fella, I guess. Oh, I'm so used to talking to so many people. Have you seen my kitty?
Your kitty?
Yeah, my pussy. Have you seen my pussy?
No. What are you doing out here?
Well, I'm trying to find my pussy. If it's all the same to you, sir.
Well, sir, I don't think you're gonna find any pussy out here. Not any live pussy, anyway.
Oh well, how about a kitty cat? You ever seen any of that?
No, I haven't seen much of anything.
Oh, Jesus, Murphy, what the hell am I gonna do?
Where did you even come from?
Well, that's kind of a long story if you want to listen to it.
Maybe give me the abridged version.
Oh, well, it's been a while since everything happened, and folks died, and and I was just kind of like hanging out with a couple of buddies of mine, and it was, I guess you could call it a trailer park of some sorts. Yeah, but it was just me and my buddies, and we were just hanging out, and I had all my kitties there, and it was great. We just everything was fine, and then just I don't know. One day I just had a little bit too much to drink, and smoking that old apocalypse ganja. Oh, Jesus Christ! Now I can't find old Sergeant Fluffenstein.
Do you have supplies back at your camp?
Well, what do you consider supplies?
Like food, water, bandages.
No, I'm going to add Matthew, would I have something like that back where I would live?
You might, but you're probably not going to be willing to take him back to your place until you find your pussycat.
Yep.
Right, well, hey, I was about to make a deal to say that I would help him find his cat if he would share his stuff with me.
Oh, I don't think that's too terrible of an idea there, pal.
All right. So, what's your? Did you guys introduce yourselves to each other at all?
Not yet.
No.
Well, what's your name, fella?
You can call me Zach.
Zach. All right. Well, you know what? It's been so long since I don't even remember my damn real name. The buddies of mine, they just call me Bubbles.
Bubbles, you will probably want to retrace your steps, although you can't really remember the events of the previous night in detail. You do remember that you and the boys had found an old distillery called Rot Gut Distillers, and you do remember how to get back to there.
Well, I'll tell you what here, Zach. It's all starting to come back to me if I sit here and stand steady enough. Oh God. It's all right. I feel a little bit better. But so yeah, we were hanging out at those places. It's not too far from here. I don't imagine this. It's called Rot Gut Distilleries. Or distiller, not distilleries, but distilleries. You will deskill yourself if you drink enough of that shit.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you that much. But it's not too terribly far from here. But I'll tell you what, like, I'm thinking maybe that's where my pussycat meter ran off to. Not 100% sure. You willing to help me out here, pal?
Yeah, sure. Just like I said, as long as you share your stuff with me afterwards, then yeah, absolutely.
The sharing of stuff now, we're talking about like I can give you some food, I can give you some water. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to share like my body with you or anything like that.
I think I can live with that.
Okay, good. Just so we got that understanding clear. Not that there's anything again. I got anything against, but it's you know what I mean there, pal.
Mm-hmm.
It's I know how it gets out here in the wasteland, but that it's okay if we just like not worry about any of that stuff. Okay, pal?
Yeah.
All right.
I think we can manage.
Good. I was a little worried.
All right.
Got to put that disclaimer out there, pal. Gotta you know how it goes.
I understand. Yeah.
All right.
All right. So leading Zach back through little side road here, almost a dirt road. Maybe at one point it was graveled, but the gravel's been washed away from years of neglect. And you reach the Rot Gut Distillers building. It's a large concrete and steel building with a big old placard that's being covered by vines and all sorts of undergrowth. It's a Rot Gut Distillers. We'll get you drunk. And to the left of the building, you see a collapsed barn-like structure with like some crushed barrels and whatnot in it. But the main building itself, the distillery, seems to be holding together fairly well due to its concrete and steel makeup. The entrance is what's nearest. The main entrance is what's nearest to you. You can see below the sign, the "We'll Get You Drunk" sign, a bunch of broken bottles, which Bubbles will remember. Him and the boys had found some bottles and were just throwing them at this sign while they were playing around here at the distillery. And then he kind of remembers that they went through the front door, making their way deeper into the distillery. And so, yeah, like I said, the front door is still ajar from where the boys had gone in. There's broken bottles all over the front of the building. And it's very overgrown. It looks like it hasn't been used. It looks like this place hasn't been accessed in probably at least, a decade or two, maybe even longer.
Are you sure this is where you were last?
I am 100,000 times positive. 100,000 times positive. Well, hold on, let me look. I'm pretty positive.
Well, do you think your cat could be in this building here?
Well, I don't hear you doing a whole lot of calling for the kitty now, do I? I thought if you're going to help me, you got to do the here, kitty, come, kitty, and you're not kind of doing that,
Yeah, Here, kitty, come, kitty.
A little louder, and you kind of have to do it in a high pitched voice. That way, the cats can hear you better. Like this. Here, kitty, come, kitty. You got to do it like that.
I'll try. Here, kitty, come.
A little bit. That's not too terrible. That's not. Hopefully, they'll come. Sergeant Flufenstein. You got it. Yeah. Now, sometimes you got to put some bass in your voice. Sergeant Flufenstein. Sometimes he likes that.
Okay. Sergeant Flufenstein.
There you go. Sergeant Flufenstein. There you go. All right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and call him from around here. Now you be sure. I don't hear a whole lot of calling coming out of your voice. And if you want some grub, I'd put a little more heart into it than what you're doing right now, pal.
All right. I will do what I can.
All right. Just checking on you because I don't know if your heart's in this looking for my pal here.
Matt, I'm going to go inside the barn, I guess, and give a good old here, kitty, come, kitty.
All right. So there's no way to really get inside of it. It's pretty well collapsed and rotted.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, you can go around it and yell for the kitty, see if the kitty will come out from inside the structure, because a cat could definitely fit inside of there.
Yeah. So yeah, then yep, that's what I do.
All right.
You gotta crawl down and get down on your, get down. You gotta get down on this level for it to relate to you. You haven't seen them before. Are you familiar with pussycats at all, sir?
Yeah, I think I know what they are.
All right, I'm just making sure because it doesn't sound like you know what they are or have ever dealt with them before. They're a fascinating creature. They're smarter than you think, too. Little bastards.
No. So you guys call for the pussy all around the barn-like structure.
Here, kitty.
There's no feline reply or even much of a sound of you know, you don't even hear like the sound of anything alive inside of the
Jesus.
the collapsed structure.
Yeah.
Jesus. I don't know. Doesn't sound like old Sergeant Fluffenstein's around here.
Have you got any catnip on you? Don't cats love catnip?
I wish I had catnip, but I ended up smoking it last night. God damn it. But I do have this cat toy with me. It's over here in my shopping cart. You know, I don't know if you've seen this, though, but this is where I do this on the side when I'm not hanging out with my kitties.
Oh.
You remember these things? You remember shopping carts?
Yeah.
Were you around for them? Well, here,
I think I remember them, yeah.
I'm gonna clue you into something. Shopping cart is man's best invention. You can hold everything. Look! I got my life in here, pal. Let me. Bubbles is rummaging around trying to find it. He finds the cat toys. Look! Now this is Sergeant Fluffenstein's favorite toy, and he holds it up to Zach's nose, and it smells just like cat piss. It's like, it smells just like him.
Oh,
so maybe this will work.
He's a lucky cat.
Thank you. You could be a lucky cat too. Play your cards right.
Yeah. So you guys can keep searching around the distillery, or maybe you can go inside. Like I said earlier, Bubbles did remember going inside of the distillery with the guys last night.
So yeah, that's what I would end up doing. That's what Bubbles would end up doing. So I'm gonna go inside the distillery. You want to come with me? You can, pal.
I'll come with you too. Yeah, I have a feeling us looking together will be better than us looking alone.
I'll tell you what, the second best invention. Actually, this might be better than the old shopping cart there. You ever hear of a go kart? You remember those?
I do.
You remember those? You remember the ones that they used to ride around all the playing golf and everything on? Remember that? Yeah.
I do.
That's what I'm looking for, pal. I get me one of those. I can put me all the kitties.
Yeah, that'd be the ultimate kitty transportation device.
I'll keep my eyes open for one of those too. Then
I'm gonna call it the kitty wagon.
So when you guys get into the front door of the entrance to the distillery, to your left, you will see a reception desk with a small tasting bar to the right of that, and then a waiting area to the left of the reception desk. Behind the tasting bar, there's a large shattered glass window that goes into the distillery itself. And then along the walls, there's all sorts of faded pictures of happy employees distilling and drinking together. To the left, you see various office spaces. About halfway down the left side of the left wall between the office spaces, there's a rest area. And then the hall does continue past the reception area. And you can just make out at the end of the hall, there's a warehouse area that some doors open up to.
I think I'll make my way towards the distillery proper, like through the busted window. Because I imagine the smells of the brewery might attract an animal.
Going straight for the distillery.
Yeah.
Does Bubbles like this plan?
Yeah, Bubble. Yeah, that sounds good. But keep calling the kitty. You're not doing a whole lot of that.
Here, kitty, come, kitty, come.
There you go. There you go, Zach.
All right.
You're getting the hang of it.
Yeah, as you all climb over the broken Bubbles, you actually have a flashback to the night before when you guys threw, and you can see in the glass shards, you could see where you guys threw chairs from the reception area through the glass window. And so it seems like you're on track for retracing your steps.
Oh,
But a negative part of breaking into this area is it appears as though some of the dead have followed the noise from the previous night, and there's 3 of them shambling around, and they do hear your here kitties, and they are coming here to you guys. Are we going to try to evade, incapacitate, or what's our goal with these here shambling corpses?
How far are they?
So you are in the distillery proper. It's about 70 feet by 100 feet long. So you have a lot of room you guys can evade them in.
Okay. Bubbles, have you fought these things before?
Yeah, I've fought a couple of them. A couple I have. Well, actually, that's a lie. I've actually fought probably about several dozen of them over the course of so many years. To tell you the truth, I got something here for him if we need to go take him out. Bubbles goes over to his battle ready shopping cart and he pulls out this hockey stick. It's all good and taped up and everything like that too. In fact, it's modified somewhere. It's actually got a nice little I'm gonna say he's modified it to put like a buzzsaw at the end of the blade, or not so much an actual, but the buzzsaw blade, but not
right, yeah.
And it's reinforced. He's got a nice he's got it reinforced with a nice piece of rebar too, so that way it's gonna do some extra damage or whatever. But yeah, this is what I've been dealing with those sons of bitches for a while. To tell you the truth, we got to do it. We got to do it. But you know what? The only priority that we have today here, Zachary, if that's your real name, is finding Sergeant Fluffenstein.
All right, then let's avoid the other. Well,
You want to avoid him? You want to avoid him?
If we avoid them though, if we avoid them and then call out for the cat, we're gonna just alert them again. So I think we're better off just to take them down right now.
I think that's a good idea. I think that's the best idea you've had all day. Bubbles claps you on the back really, really hard.
All right, let's see what you can do.
All right.
I prep my aluminum bag, grip it a little bit.
Nice. So since there is 2 of you to just 3 of them, there's not going to be any penalties on the GM die. It's just going to be a flat 0.
Okay.
Why don't you all roll me your force for trying to crack some skulls?
All righty. So force is that a D6 that I'm going to roll?
Yep. D6 for your attribute die, and then a D6 for the GM. So your force will be, I think, a +1, right, Bubbles?
Yep.
So +1 to your attribute die, and then a 0 for your GM. It'll be both zeros for you, Zach.
Yes. Well, I got a 6 and a 1.
All right.
Yep.
Polar opposites.
Mm-hmm.
Same here. That's exactly what I got.
Okay. So those are both partial successes. Since there's so few zombies that you're dealing with, you are both able to take out all 3 zombies with very little problem. But each of you will take a wound in the process where they just kind of nick you and scratch you a little bit.
Oh, that son of a bitch tried to got me, but that's all right though. Now that we got these fuckers,
yeah,
let's go ahead and find Sergeant Yellenstein.
Sounds good. Here, kitty. Here, kitty, come.
Here, kitty, come. Kitty.
So
you know what?
What were you saying?
Oh no, you go ahead.
I was going to say, so lucky for the 2 of you, the path of destruction left by the boys the previous night is not difficult to follow. You can actually see where they managed to knock over one of the rusted out tanks, and you can kind of follow that to the far corner of the distillery where they moved some pallets out of the way, and you can see the entrance to a cellar of some sort.
I have a feeling we're going to have to go down there.
Yeah, I think so too there, pal.
Is the cellar like open or is it like closed and locked or anything?
So right now you can just see like the thrown back steel door to the steps. But the steel door to the steps is open from where you're at. Getting closer, you can see that actually another 2 zombies have fallen down the steps. They're just kind of clawing at the steps. It seems as though they've broken several bones in the fall. And then there is almost like a vacuum sealed door, have you ever seen? I'm sure you all have seen like walk-in freezer doors before.
Yeah.
It looks like a walk-in freezer door for the most part.
Okay.
And that's at the bottom of the steps. They're not smart enough to open the door, but it does seem like they want to. That's what drew something inside drew them to it.
Well, I definitely want to go coup de grace the downed ones already.
All right.
Yes. Give it to them.
So roll me. Actually, you don't need to roll anything. They're pretty well done for. So you guys easily dispatch them. I'm assuming with lots of stomping and poking with your weapons. Who is going to open the cellar door?
I'll go ahead and do it.
Sounds good.
All right. So the moment you open the cellar door, Bubbles, you hear a nearly familiar growling, purring coming from inside. And out lunges a mangy version of your what was his name again? Sergeant
Fluffenstein.
Yeah, Sergeant Fluffenstein, the mountain lion, lunges out.
Oh no.
But he is now he is no longer living. And he is a zombie. So yeah, you have Sergeant Fluffenstein lunging at you, and above you hear scraping as more dead have been drawn to the noise you've created here.
Oh, my kitty! What happened to you, boy? Oh, poor fella. What happened to you? Come here, buddy. So yeah, I have a loose grasp on reality.
Yeah, I can tell.
So I'm gonna. That's one of my negative traits here. So I'm gonna go ahead and, reach out. Come here, buddy. What's the matter with you? You sick? So,
Bubbles, you gotta get away from it.
No, he's just sick. He's probably just got a fur ball. I just gotta go ahead and, I don't know, give him the kitty Heimlich maneuver or something.
That's not a kitty. That's a dangerous kitty.
You don't know him like I do. He's my buddy. So yeah, Bubbles is gonna go ahead and try to.
Oh shit!
You're gonna try to hug it.
Yep, try to give him the Heimlich and try to take care of him.
Maybe he'll of mice and men it. Hug it to death.
Ben, do you attempt to intercede?
I mean, I imagine that the way that thing moves, like, I will not be able to get to him before it gets to him.
I mean, it's not full speed, but judging by the fact that they're going together, you would be at a disadvantage trying to get to him. But I would allow you to attempt if you would like.
I think I'm gonna give it a second, just because also I'm a little worried about this crazy man with a saw blade hockey stick.
Okay. So do you?
Who is calling this clearly zombie mountain lion just kitty?
Do you? Because like I said, you do hear there is rustling of shambling footsteps above you. Do you try to just escape? Do you leave him, or do you wait and see what happens?
Man, see, the thing is, I don't think I can escape because once this thing is done with him, it's coming after me next, and it's probably still fresh enough that it is a lot quicker than I'm gonna be.
Mm-hmm.
So I think my plan is to kind of see what happens, and if it kind of starts to dig into him, I'm gonna do my best to end it, and potentially him if he also is, done for as well.
All right. Oh yeah. So since Bubbles is not putting up any sort of attack or defense, Sergeant Fluffenstein just rips out. Well, how does Sergeant Fluffenstein greet you, Bubbles? What does this look like?
Well, I imagine Bubbles is walking up to him like, "Come here, kitty. Oh, you look all dirty and everything. Did you get in the dust or something, pal?" And so he's walking up to him and getting ready. And like I imagine, like, you know how your grandma would do or whatever when you get something on your face. And I don't know if your grandma did this. My grandma sure as hell did. And she like licked something. And she like licks something and like wipe it on your face.
Yeah.
That's what Bubbles is getting ready to do to Sergeant Fluffenstein.
Okay.
And he's like, right. "Come here, buddy. You got some stuff on your face here. Let's get it off."
So so Bubbles, you reach out your hand to get some of that dust off of Sergeant Fluffenstein's coat there, and yeah, he bites your hand off.
What'd you do that for? Oh, what happened to you, pal? I didn't see you. Not supposed to bite my hand. So yeah, he's crying for a little bit because he got his hand bit.
Yeah, that's gonna be 3 wounds there.
Oh shit!
And that'll put you 1 away from incapacitation. And so Benjamin.
Yeah.
What do you do?
How occupied with that hand is the mountain lion?
It's kind of ripping at it on the floor, playing with it like cats kind of do. Yeah, it's not gonna just eat it in one bite. It's still a kitty cat at heart.
Right. I'm gonna try to bludgeon it while both its former owner, I imagine at this point, former owner, and it are kind of distracted. Because I imagine getting your hand bit off, you'd probably be a little distracted.
Yeah, probably.
A little. All right, roll me force at -1 because it is a cat. They're quick. -1 to your GM die.
Okay. Yeah. Come on, dice, be good to Ben. Oof, a 2 and a 5. The 5 was the GM dice.
After the -1?
Yeah.
Okay. So you still have 1 flux token. You can I don't think you can do anything once you've already rolled.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't a full failure.
Right.
All right. So you do manage to kill it, but it does get in a little slap.
Mm-hmm.
So take another wound.
Yep.
And about this time, once you've bashed it in, the other zombies are now one completely falls down from like the top, and it's in the doorway where you guys are. But it's fallen down, and you just hear cracking of rotten bones. The other one isn't as far up the steps, and so it kind of gets back up and starts shambling towards you. And then, but it's the only one up and moving of the zombies that were coming towards you, or at least that have made it to you at this time.
Bubbles, get your shit together. We need to take care of these other zombies before we become them.
Like I don't have a hand anymore, buddy. Ah! I'm getting weak. Ah. I would imagine Bubbles is losing some blood here.
All right. Bubbles is probably over crying on top of Sergeant Fluffenstein, huh?
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Let's see. I'm gonna pick up his hockey stick because I imagine that's gonna be a little bit better than my aluminum bat, right?
All right. Yeah. That's
And
pretty beast.
And I imagine losing his hand, he probably isn't super good at wielding it anymore.
Yep. Okay. So yeah. Roll me a +1 on the GM die for this force.
Yeah, we're gonna take these fucking other zombos on. That is a 3 and a. You said the GM one is a +1.
Yep.
Then a 3 and a 6.
All right. Another partial success.
Mm-hmm.
So take another wound there, but you take this one out.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You don't really hear any more nearby movement. So you might have a couple moments to collect yourselves. In this cellar, you can see there's just tons of bottles that have been drank, laying on the ground. There's full bottles up on the wall. Whoever had built this cellar as part of the distillery, it was kind of like, it looks like almost like a Prohibition era speakeasy, and it's just full of booze and lots of like other stuff. But the really wild thing is you can see that the door it's on like a hinge, and it just closes as soon as you stop putting pressure on it, and it latches really airtight pretty much. So it looks like what happened was that Sergeant Fluffenstein may have suffocated in here as the air is completely still.
Oh no.
Yeah. And that may have been what helped the boys to black out the way they did while they were down here partying.
Yeah.
How do you try to get Bubbles out of his stupor so you can get out of there and he can get you back to his home?
Well, first I want to actually take some acetaminophen to make sure that I can keep the pain away a little bit. And
Yep. Yeah, go ahead and take off one of your wounds.
Cool.
And put your acetaminophen down to 8.
Let's see. So I go over to Bubbles and I shake him and be like, Bubbles, we can mourn Sergeant Fluffenstein, maybe even promote him when we get back to your camp, but we got to get out of here. And when we get out of here, we can give him the proper remembrance service that he deserves.
Whatever you say, pal, it's all getting pretty light and fast.
Oh, he's losing it, isn't he?
I think I see him. Sergeant Fluffenstein, is that you? Up there? Oh, you look so glorious with your wings.
I rip a piece of Bubbles' shirt off and tourniquet his arm.
All right.
Or his hand. Or former hand.
All right. So you're going to try to just
try to
basically
staunch the blood flow, kind of
staunch the blood and help him up the steps. You definitely stop.
Yeah.
You slow, I should say, the blood. I mean, it's a lot of blood.
Right. I also mentioned to him that he can't take care of his other kitties if he goes now.
No.
Because I know he's probably got more kitties.
So Bubbles, do you allow him to help you up the stairs, or are you done? You staying with Sergeant Fluffenstein?
I'm gonna stay with Sergeant Fluffenstein, man. He didn't have anything else to look for.
Yeah.
But what I am gonna do though is I'm gonna tell my buddy here if he wants something to eat, he can go over to where
you tell him the directions.
Yep. All right, so here's where you go, and be sure to feed the other kitties too, if you're gonna go that way.
You got it, Bubbles.
You got it. And so I reach out with my bloody stump and I like smear it on him. There's a go. You're a good guy. You're a good fella. Don't let these guys. Don't let them ruin your sunny disposition. All right. Don't let all this.
I'll do my best.
Do
Best
better
of
than
luck
I
to you,
did.
Bubbles.
Well, thank you. Thank you. So long there, pal.
I'll see you, Bubbles. I start to. I make my way out then.
Do you take any booze with you?
Oh, is there still booze available? I thought it was all smashed.
No, there's lots of full bottles that haven't even been opened yet. You didn't at least use it as for alcohol purposes.
Yeah, I'll pick up a couple bottles.
Do you look for anything else, or are you too freaked out?
Do I hear any more like shambling or anything?
With the door closed, you can't really hear much.
Oh. I guess I'll take a look around and see if I find anything else useful in the room.
All right, roll me intelligence or luck, whichever you prefer. They're the same.
They're the same. What'll get me better? Well, neither, probably because it's a 2 and a 3.
2 and a 3, huh? Yep. You don't really find anything in there. Do
I find any extra water since we are in a distillery?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, this at least not down here in their speakeasy.
Oh, right.
And everything looked pretty well rotted upstairs.
Oh, okay.
Being exposed to the elements and everything.
Okay, but yeah, I do pick up some of the bottles that are available and take them with me.
How many bottles do you take? 2 or 3?
Are we talking? Are these like your normal like beer bottle size? Like
no, they're like 750 milliliter.
Then yeah, we'll go with 3 bottles. Oh, so this is liquor.
Yeah, this is liquor.
Okay, yeah, 3 bottles then.
This ain't a brewery. This is a distillery.
Right, I know, but recently it seems like some of them do a little bit of both.
Yeah, I know. It's liquor bottles.
Okay. Alcohol.
Yeah, alcohol. It's all really dusty, but
Hey, but as long as inside it's clean, right?
But at least it's been dry down here due to the seal. All right, so you open the door, ready to flee.
You're ready to flee, ready to fight to get to the fleeing if I need to.
Okay.
With my new hockey stick.
Yeah, going out the door, you don't find any of the dead in your way, and you make it to the trailer park that Bubbles directed you to fairly easily. There is a not a lot here. Much of the trailers have collapsed in on themselves. There's a shed that has just like cats crawling all over it, in and out of it. And next to the shed, there's a trailer that's in decent shape. There's some bloody handprints on the doors to the trailer. But yeah, other than those 2 buildings, everything else seems to be pretty picked clean and collapsed.
Okay, I'll check out the shed first.
All right, opening up the shed, you see a little bed, and then just various odds and ends of like a very eclectic personality. You would assume this is probably Bubbles' abode. Lots of kitty litter boxes, lots of various things.
A bubble machine.
Yep. Yeah, some lights, some Christmas lights, although it doesn't look like they've had power in quite some time. But you do find like some linens that aren't completely piss stained.
Okay.
You can find some dried goods that it looks like they may have you're not really sure where they would have come from, but they're like like in shoot, what's the word? What are those like bags that are like fabric that they used to sell stuff in?
Oh, you mean
Burlap.
burlap, yeah.
like in little burlap sacks.
Mm-hmm.
There's like some dried beans and the such. There is a water that the cats have been drinking out of on the stove that you could boil if you wanted, but you have your own little camp stove and your own little pot if you want to boil water.
Right, yeah.
So it's up to you if you want to boil water cats have been drinking or not.
No, I do not.
And yeah, that's about all that's useful there. And there it was, you got like a little like 3-pound bag of beans.
Okay.
And then you got some linen, some blankets because you've had some like quite cold nights.
Okay. Yeah.
On the road without any sort of like linen or something.
Uh-huh.
And they're not completely piss stained,
right,
or cat piss stained, I should say.
right. Or hey, regular piss stain too, maybe, because obviously Bubbles was a little crazy.
Yeah. And do you check out the other trailer with the bloody stains?
I do, but I want to like look through the windows first.
Yeah.
If I see any movement.
Peeking
inside.
your head up against the window, you immediately there's a pounding on the glass as two figures start trying to get at you, pushing their mouths against the glass. There's one in like a Hawaiian kind of shirt, and then one in like a black really tight t-shirt
with a gold chain.
Yeah.
Does he still have a whiskey glass in his hand?
Yeah. One hand is holding a somehow full whiskey glass, and it's got ice cubes in it, which is wild.
Oh, that is wild. So let's see. I'm wondering if there is so how like that glass probably isn't very strong, right? Because they're pounding on it and everything.
Yeah, it seems to be like actually been replaced with like plexi.
Oh, okay. Because I say like if I can, I want to stand back a little bit, but like break it with the end of the stick and have them tumble out.
Yeah, you could definitely break it if you hit it a couple times.
Yeah, I'll try that, and then once they hit the ground, assuming they don't get up all that quickly, I'll try to finish them quickly.
All right, we'll just make this one roll.
Sure.
So give me a force roll.
Okay.
And then GM die is just a 0.
Okay. Well, that is going to be a 4 on the GM die, a 5 on the regular die.
Hey, that's a full success.
Hey, nice.
So you take them, you break the glass and one of them falls right on his neck. Then the one in the black shirt gets up. He's pretty big, but you make short work of him with that with the saw blade at the end of the hockey stick there. And then those seem to be the only 2 dead nearby.
Then with those 2 dispatched, I'm going to go inside the trailer and loot.
Now, regretfully, these 2 seem to have had much less use for amenities than Bubbles did. It appears as though there was a greenhouse of sorts. So you do find some dried weed. May have been what they were trading for the food and stuff. So you could take some weed with you if you'd like.
I
bag it up.
Yeah, I will take a little bit of that with the knowledge that a little bit of it will be fine as a painkiller as long as I don't take too much of it and get it out of my mind.
Okay, so you're just taking like a couple, just a little bit, not like the whole shebang.
Yeah, just a little.
I'm gonna put a little weed.
A little weed.
And then there's there's a whiskey cabinet with like some gnarly looking, like, looks like the whiskey was probably like home like made in a bathtub or something. And those are in like bottles, not as nice as the alcohol you found.
I'll probably leave that alone then.
Okay. Yeah, and then like, the rest of the stuff is just kind of like about the same, just like some blankets and beds and stuff. And that's about it. There's nothing really of great value here that you can find, but go ahead and roll me an intelligence just to make sure there's nothing hidden or out of sight. GM die will be at a -1.
Well, then it looks like the GM die is a 0, regular die is a 5.
All right, so partial success. It takes you a long time, but you do find a stash. And in this stash, there is a map. And the map says, all trades welcome at Techtropolis. And you will remember Techtropolis as your old place of work. And there's a map to Techtropolis, and there are these fabric, this fabric bag filled with it appears to be like like an aluminum pressed coinage, and all the aluminum pressed coinage has the mascot of Techtropolis, which is a robotic superhero with a cape.
Ooh, okay.
Which was called Superbot.
Yeah,
and it appears they have a bag of coins for Techtropolis and a map to it.
Okay.
And I think that is where we will call the session.
Sure. Oh, before we do, I also want to cut some of those blankets that I'm not going to use into extra bandages.
Okay.
If I can.
All right. We will make those separate because they are not sanitary.
Right.
But maybe you can boil them in water at some point. And
Yeah.
How many of those would you like to make?
I'll make 3 of those.
3 more? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And you've got a bag of Techtropolis coins.
And the map.
And a map to Techtropolis. All right. And that is session 2 of Fate of the Dead.
Awesome.
Bubbles, you still with us?
Yes, I am.
Oh man, that was some beautiful acting. Mwah.
I loved it. Oh my god. I loved it and I hated it because I really just wanted to take like 20 minutes to just laugh.
Oh man.
Oh, don't encourage me.
How excited were you when I told you that I was basing your character on Bubbles?
It's pretty excited. Just a chance to, man. It's just awesome just to get a chance to. It's fun just to get to play, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Listen, too, I actually have a hockey jersey that says Sunnyvale and Bubbles on the back too. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, they came to Pittsburgh several years ago, and I got to go see them, and it was awesome. It was like their Christmas show. Oh, it was so fun.
You know what's really sad? So, the year that the actor who played Mr. Leahy passed away.
Yeah, John Dunsworth.
Yeah, John Dunsworth. The year he passed away, him and what's the burger guy's name?
I mean, his name is Randy, but I can't think of what his real name is.
Yeah. Anyway, him and Randy were supposed to come to Morgantown.
Yeah, we were gonna.
They were going to be at 123 Pleasant Street.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, the tour got canceled. Of course.
Yeah, because John Dunsworth got sick.
Yeah.
And then obviously he passed.
And then he passed. It was all very quick. But one of my friends was supposed to open for them. Like they did it as they did a comic contest to see who would get to open for them locally.
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah.
So yeah, it was a double sad thing because this was obviously would have been a big break for him.
Yeah. Oh, right. Sure.
Because that was
sure.
going to draw a huge audience.
Oh yeah, it would
to the venue. So it was like a double whammy of sadness. Obviously, a human death is much sadder than lost opportunity, but at the same time,
yeah. No, but I mean, but like both can be mourned.
Yep. Yeah. Exactly. So yeah, guys. I hope you had fun.
Definitely.
Yes, I did.
I did too.
I'm looking forward to session 3. I'm surprised that Zach has survived so far, but he's.
Can I honestly say me too? like I thought when that fucking mountain lion came out, which I had a feeling it was gonna be something like that. I thought for sure that was gonna be it.
Oh yeah, dude! You were just rolling those partial successes, just keeping yourself alive.
Oh, I know.
Because here's the thing with zombies. A full failure is almost guaranteed death.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, yeah. There's no doubt about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or at least like severe like punishment.
Yeah. Well, no. So the first thing that happens on a full failure with zombies is you become ensnared.
Oh, yeah, sure.
And then any amount of failure once you're ensnared, so partial success or worse, and you're dead. Period.
Oh,
no.
Yeah. Well, then, yeah. Yeah.
No ifs, ands, or buts about it. That's so funny. Somebody in years from now is going to go and open that cellar, and there's just going to be a big bug-eyed zombie ready to rip their throats out.
That's true. That's true.
That might be a fun campaign to run down the road.
At the same time, though, it's only going to have one hand, so it can't really grab you too well.
Yeah, not going to be able to grab that well. So next week, Imaginary Ramblings, The Good, the Bad, and the Campy will be back, where we'll be watching Plan 9 from Outer Space.
Yes, I can't wait.
Supposedly one of the worst movies ever, I think.
I don't know.
I
mean, The Room exists, so.
Yeah. So
tear me apart. This was The Room before The Room happened.
The Room before The Room. Oh man, I'm excited.
This is what we watched. This is what Gen X watched before you guys had The Room.
All right, I got some questions for you, Uncle Jay. Where can people find the Murder Hobo Show?
Oh, you can find the Murder Hobo Show. We usually stream every other Wednesday on Twitch, and you can find us. It's usually it'll be 10 Eastern because it's 9 o'clock Central, 7 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Pacific time. You can usually find us on Twitch, usually about that time, and you can usually find it. We usually cut audio from that, and then you can find us on podcast. You can find that in podcast form. You can find that wherever you find your wherever you enjoy your podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, I think Podbean, all of those podcast jerks, all of those guys.
Yeah. What's the what is and what's your elevator pitch for the Murder Hobo Show?
The Murder Hobo Show is essentially just two guys trying to make each other laugh, and all it is just me and my buddy Gary. We're just sitting there hanging out. We're just talking about RPG stuff or whatever. We try to have at least a somewhat coherent topic to discuss about the RPG community, but usually it's just us talking about our bowel movements or what is usually angry. Usually made us old. Upset us old men for the week or whatever. So that's what it's about. But hopefully, every once in a while, we do dispense a nugget of truth or a nugget of wisdom from our years of playing RPGs for so long. So if you want to hear two old guys ripping on each other, and then maybe some RPG wisdom, that's pretty much the 5-minute elevator pitch for the Murder Hobo Show.
Nice. Sweet.
All right. I listened to the Murder Hobo Show. You guys are hilarious. Just so you guys know, though, the listening audience, that is, if you go back to his first episodes, it's very structured and much less funny.
It really is.
It's not. I'm not saying it's bad. It's just a very different show. Before J Raz came in and made it into the dream team of bowel movements that it is now.
Pretty much.
Before he came in and spiced it all up.
Yeah, well, we already had, Gary just needed somebody. He just needed the yin to his IBS yang.
Yeah.
That's what he needed, and that's how it kind of works.
What episode number is it that you both shit yourselves?
Oh crap! I wish I had these written down, but it was easily about a year ago. So I want to say, so we're on episode 31 of the newer of the Murder Hobo
new format.
So I want to say maybe about episode 16 or 17. I have to go check. I have to go back.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's a classic episode.
Oh my god, that was so funny.
I still laugh about it. I'm like, you son of a bitch. You transferred your belly voodoo to me.
But yeah, with all that said, please contact us at our email address, which is imaginaryramblings@gmail.com. You can tweet at us at podcastir. We're on Facebook and Instagram at Imaginary Ramblings. Rate and review us so that we can reach more ears with the sounds of our sweet, sweet lovemaking. I mean, role playing. And lastly, you can buy our merch at TeePublic. The link is in the show notes. And then with all of that said, all I have left to say is good luck, survivors. This is Matt signing out.
Stay alive out there.
Adios, folks. Be good or don't. I ain't your daddy.
It's the apocalypse. Ain't no rules.
Right?